Skeleton Crew episode 8 already dropped and this series is officially over, so let's do a Skeleton Crew series review. So let's start off with the characters. By far the most intriguing character has to be Jod. So we meet Jod in episode 2 and we don't trust him obviously. But as the episodes keep going along, Jod, keeps taking the kids to these places and, they all need to find out where AT-ATN is and he helps them a lot. But he always says at the end of it like, hey, I'm going to get a reward out of this. And I'm helping you guys, but I do want something. And so when episode 7 and 8 comes along and he becomes the main villain, it's actually, I was actually shocked when this happened because it's a kid's show and I wasn't expecting, Jod to become the main villain. And when he does, he is going to get what he wants. He is very, intimidating, and he's just a really good character for this. So let's get into the kids next. The first one I'm going to talk about is Wim. Wim just is the person that wants the adventure. He wants to do something different with his life than compared to everybody else on AT-ATN. He sees that everybody on his home planet does the same thing, and he doesn't want to do that. And I really like, how he's played, and I really like what he does because even in episode 8, he's helping the cause, and he's just a really fun character to look at because he just wants to be different than everybody else. The next character up is Fern. She's the leader of the group. Her mom she's not the leader of AT-ATN, but she leads a lot of people. She kind of wants to be like her mom. I really like this character, again, because, you could see throughout the episodes how she's trying to lead these group of people and this robot, but she doesn't do a great job at it. And as, the season starts to conclude, she does better at it. And then, obviously, her mom, she helps her mom, and they help beat Jod and the pirates at the very end. So the next character up is Neil. He's kind of the nervous one who's afraid to go on these adventures, but I really like his character because as the series keeps going on, he's more willing to go on these adventures, and he's helping a lot more, and obviously they're trying to make it back home, and he's a big help on how they get to do that at the end. So KB is kind of the brains of the group. She knows all the technology with the ship. She helps SM-33 on the ship, and she gets the message to the New Republic that AT-ATN needs help at the end of the series. Here are some good moments from the show.
You can do anything.
Yeah. You're a Jedi, right?
Of course. You heard what the man said. You stay on the ship. 33 and
So the next thing to talk about is the plot. So the plot is the kids accidentally find this ship, and then they get sent off into the galaxy. They're going around the galaxy until they see some pirates. The pirates capture them, and then they meet Jod. So Jod and the kids have to go find the coordinates back to AT-ATN. As they're doing that, Jod is trying to find treasure on other planets until he eventually gets caught. So then Jod and the pirates have the coordinates to AT-ATN, so then they go there, and then the kids also have the coordinates, so they go to AT-ATN. Jod's final goal is to try to get all the treasure from AT-ATN, or not all of it, but, a lot of the treasure from AT-ATN, and the kids have to stop him. So I really like the story. I think the kids do an absolutely amazing job. I think Jod is a great character along with the kids, and I just really like what the story has. All right, so the next thing to talk about is the future of these characters and of this project. So obviously, like a lot of other people, I really like Skeleton Crew, and the one character that I could definitely see being in another Star Wars project is Jod. I think he's definitely the character that has, the most interests with people, and obviously the kids do as well. I can definitely see them being in another Star Wars project as well. But Jod and the pirates, I can definitely see being, in another Star Wars project as the main villains. And for the kids, obviously the planet is now, completely open to other places. So I can see them going and doing stuff for the planet. And I just think there's a bunch of opportunities with all of these characters that would be really cool to see. All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about is how movies like The Goonies and 1980s TV shows really inspired the story. So obviously before the series came out, we saw all the things saying, this is going to be kind of like a 1980s, show or movie in Star Wars. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, this should be really good. And so when I saw it, they did almost exactly what they said they were going to do. Meaning, the adventure in this series is so good. The characters, the villains in this show, all of that really, makes you think that this show is from back then. And they did a really good job at making the audience think that and feeling that. So that's just another thing why this show is so good and why the characters and why the adventure they go on is so good, because they really wanted to do something and they really did that perfectly in this.